Let me ask you something. Have you ever wanted to clap back at someone so badly your whole body was shaking? Someone lies about you, disrespects you, underestimates you, and everything inside you screams to fight back? But here's what the strongest people know. Not every battle is worth your energy. Not every insult deserves a reply. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is silence. Because silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means power under control. And when you trust karma to do what it does best, you protect your peace and you win the long game. In this video, we're diving into 7 moments in life when you should stay silent and let karma do the talking. Because nothing speaks louder than the consequences people create for themselves. Let's begin. When someone lies about you, let's be honest, there are few things more infuriating than being lied about. To have your name twisted, your character questioned, your actions distorted, all behind your back, by people who never had the courage to come to you face to face. It's one of the most personal betrayals there is, and your first instinct. You want to defend yourself, set the record straight, clear your name. But here's the truth. The more you try to chase down every lie, the more power you give it, because that's exactly what the liar wants. They want your reaction. They want your energy. They want you to come down to their level and wrestle in the dirt. But if you always stop to throw a stone at every dog that barks at you, you'll never finish your journey. So what do you do instead? You go quiet. You go still. You let your actions become your answer. Because time is the ultimate truth teller. Lies are loud at first, but truth is patient, and it always outlasts the noise. You see, when you keep showing up with integrity, when you continue living in alignment with your values, when you don't flinch, don't fight, and don't shrink, eventually, the lie collapses under its own weight. People may believe the lie for a moment, but when your life consistently contradicts the rumor, guess what happens? The people watching start to question it. They start to notice the difference between what they heard and what they see. And in that quiet gap between gossip and truth, karma starts doing its work. You don't need to clap back. You don't need to run around trying to fix everyone's perception. You just need to live in a way that makes the lies impossible to sustain. Because when you carry yourself with consistency, strength, and self-respect, the truth speaks for you louder than any rumor ever could. So the next time someone lies about you, let them talk. Let them twist. Let them show the world who they really are. And you keep rising. You keep shining. You keep living so boldly and authentically that the lie burns out and they're left in their own smoke. Because silence backed by character is the loudest truth of all. 2. When you're being provoked on purpose. You know that feeling, don't you? Someone pokes at you with a little smirk. They say something slick, just low enough to slide under the radar. They challenge you, not with honesty, but with manipulation. They're not looking for conversation. They're looking for control. And they want one thing: your reaction. Because if they can get under your skin, if they can make you angry, if they can get you to raise your voice, lose your cool, act out of character, then they win. And now you're the aggressive one. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. Meanwhile, they walk away looking calm, collected, and in control of your emotions. Let me tell you something important. When you react to someone's games, you give them your power. They are not stronger. They are not smarter. They are simply louder and waiting for you to match their chaos. But here's the shift you need to make. Not everything deserves your energy. When someone tries to provoke you on purpose, silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. Stillness isn't surrender, it's strategy. Think of it like this. A lion doesn't flinch when a hyena laughs. A mountain doesn't tremble when the wind blows. Because true strength doesn't shout, it stands firm. When you're being provoked on purpose, it's not a test of your toughness. It's a test of your emotional discipline. Can you stay in control when someone else is trying to take it? Because the person who stays calm, they win. The one who doesn't take the bait, they keep their crown. And the one who walks away with peace, instead of partaking in petty drama, they're already miles ahead. So the next time someone pushes your buttons, just to see if they still work, smile. Breathe. Step back. And remember, if they can't get a reaction, they can't control the outcome. Let karma speak where your silence is louder than words. Let life show them what kind of person you are, without you ever raising your voice. Because the most unshakable people, they don't defend their power. They demonstrate it by staying above what was meant to bring them down. Betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those you let close. From the friend you confided in, the partner you opened your heart to, the person you defended when others questioned them. And that's what makes it sting so deep. Because betrayal isn't just about what they did, it's about what it broke. It shattered your sense of safety. It made you question your own judgment. It cracked something inside you that took a long time to build. Trust. And when that happens, your first instinct might be to fight, to confront, to expose, to tell the world what they did so you don't have to carry it alone. But here's the truth. When someone shows you who they are through betrayal, believe them, then let karma do what it does best. See, when someone stabs you in the back, you don't need to hand them the knife again by going to war. You don't need revenge. You don't need to ruin their name, because the damage they caused is already shaping their consequences, whether they realize it or not. You might not see it right away, but betrayal carries its own price tag. And the people who live their lives using others as stepping stones always fall, because they never built anything real beneath them. Lies catch up, deception unravel, and trust, once broken, becomes a door that stays closed, even if they come knocking. So what do? You don't beg for an apology. You don't chase for closure. You don't try to make sense of what never made sense in the first place. You rise. You take the lesson. You protect your peace. And you understand, what someone does to you is a reflection of them, not of your worth. Let your silence speak. Let your growth speak louder. Let your refusal to stoop down to bitterness be your power. Because karma doesn't need a schedule. It always arrives, and it delivers what people have earned. When you choose not to retaliate, when you heal instead of harden, when you stay silent not out of fear but out of wisdom, you win, not in the loud explosive way the world often expects, but in the quiet, undeniable way that life rewards those who stay true to themselves. So when someone betrays your trust, don't shout, don't chase, don't shrink, just leave the door closed and let karma knock on there. When someone doesn't value you, there's a certain kind of pain that comes from being overlooked, not hated, not even disliked, just ignored, taken for granted, treated like an option, like your presence is expected, not appreciated. And that hurts, especially when you've been there, when you've shown up, supported, given more than you received, and still they act like you're replaceable, like your effort was invisible. But listen to me carefully. You don't have to convince anyone to see your work. You were valuable before they noticed you, and you'll still be valuable after they stop. The moment someone treats you like you're easy to lose, it's your signal to stop making yourself so easy to access. Because people don't value what they don't have to earn. If they're blind to your loyalty, if they shrug at your support, if they only call when they need and disappear when you do, that's not a relationship. That's a transaction. And you were never meant to be a product. See, the more you try to prove yourself to someone who doesn't value you, the more you shrink yourself to fit into spaces you've outgrown. You start second-guessing your instincts. You start walking on eggshells. You start showing up at 100 for someone who's giving you 20, and calling it love, or friendship, or family. But value isn't proven by effort alone. It's confirmed by reciprocation. So what do you do when someone doesn't value you? You don't argue. You don't beg. You don't start doing even more just to get their attention. You go quiet. You go calm. You go inward. And you remember who you were before they tried to make you forget. Because here's the truth. Silence is the strongest thing you can offer someone who took your voice for granted. Distance is the clearest message you can give someone who didn't appreciate your presence. And self-respect is the ultimate worst to anyone who failed to give you the basic dignity of being seen. You don't need closure from someone who couldn't even offer consistent. You don't need validation from someone who overlooked you. And you certainly don't need to keep watering a connection that's already gone dry. Let karma handle it. Let time reveal who really had your back and who only held you back. Let the absence of your presence speak the words you no longer owe them. Because when you remove yourself from places where you're not valued, You make space for the people who will never stop reminding you how much you are. Have you ever been in a situation where you know without a doubt that you're right? Maybe you've done your homework. You've thought things through carefully. You've spoken calmly and clearly. But the other person, they don't care about facts, logic, or truth. They just want to argue. They want to hear their own voice louder than yours. They want to dominate the conversation, even if it means ignoring reality. They want to win, not the discussion, but the feeling of power. And that's frustrating. It can make you want to shout back, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong no matter what. But here's what you need to know. Arguing with someone who just wants to argue is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. When you try to force a point with someone who isn't listening to understand, you lose more than just the argument. You lose your peace. You lose your time. You lose your energy. Sometimes the right thing to do when you're right is to step back, to let the argument go, to hold your ground silently, without engaging in the chaos. Think about it. Do you really need to convince someone who has already decided they won't listen? Or would it be better to save your strength for the people who actually want to grow and learn? There's a deeper wisdom in choosing when to speak and when to stay silent. Because silence doesn't mean you're weak. Silence means you're wise. Silence means you trust yourself enough not to chase approval or validation from every voice around you. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop arguing with those who only want to argue, you reclaim your power. You protect your mental space. You nurture your confidence. You preserve your emotional being. It's not about avoiding conflict. It's about choosing the battles that matter. It's about knowing when your words will build bridges and when they will only burn them. So the next time you're right, but someone just wants to argue, don't take the bait. Don't drown yourself in noise. Stand firm in your truth. Walk away with your head held high, because karma has a way of showing the truth without you having to say a word. 6. Don't match their disrespect. Rise above it. When someone disrespects you, the natural reaction is often to meet fire with fire, to match their tone, mirror their attitude, and fight back with equal force. It feels satisfying in the moment, like standing your ground, reclaiming your dignity. But let me ask you this. Does responding to disrespect with more disrespect really bring you closer to winning? Or does it drag you down into a place where no one truly wins? Here's the hard truth. When you respond to disrespect by lowering yourself to their level, you lose. Not because they're stronger or smarter, but because you've given away your power. The power to choose who you are, no matter what anyone else does. Imagine this. You're walking through a storm and the rain tries to soak you through. You could fight the rain, splash around and get soaked in mud. Or you could put up your umbrella, hold your head high and keep moving forward, dry and strong. Rising above disrespect is your umbrella in the storm. When someone speaks to you with rudeness or hostility, you don't have to reply in kind. You can listen with calm. You can respond with respect for yourself and others. You can refuse to escalate the conflict and instead hold steady in your integrity. This doesn't mean you're weak or passive. It means you are strong enough to control your reactions, strong enough to keep your dignity intact, strong enough to not let someone else's poor behavior define your day, your mood, or your self-worth. Think about people you admire, the ones who inspire respect. They're not always the loudest or the angriest. They're the ones who show patience, grace, and control, even when tested. By rising above disrespect, you send a powerful message. You won't be dragged down by negativity. You won't be baited into drama. You own your emotions, and no one can take that away. And here's another truth. When you don't match disrespect with disrespect, you often disarm the other person. Their anger fizzles out when it's met with calm strength instead of fuel. Karma. It works quietly behind the scenes. Because people who disrespect others are often battling their own pain and insecurity. When you refuse to join their cycle, you break the pattern. So next time you face disrespect, remember, don't meet hate with hate. Don't lower yourself to their level. Rise above. Keep your calm. Hold your head high. Because the real victory isn't in winning an argument. It's in winning your peace. When you've already said enough, sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop talking. Let that sink in. You see, we live in a world where everyone's shouting to be heard, explaining, justifying, repeating themselves, hoping maybe this time someone will finally understand. But here's the truth. If someone didn't value your words the first time, they won't respect them the 10th. There comes a point where saying more doesn't add clarity. It adds noise. It drains your energy. It keeps you stuck in a loop of over-explaining, over-giving, and overextending yourself. For people who stopped listening long ago, let's be real. Some people don't want to understand. They want to win. They want to stay comfortable in their narrative. And the more you talk, the more power you give them to twist your truth. But when you go silent, you shift everything. You stop feeding the fire. You stop playing the game. You let your absence say what your words couldn't. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is confident. It says, I've said what I needed to say. I've done what I could. Now it's out of my hands. It's not your job to fix someone who refuses to hear you. It's not your job to convince someone of your value. And it's certainly not your job to keep repeating yourself to someone who chooses not to grow. There's power in the pause. There's clarity in the quiet. There's dignity in knowing when you've already said enough. Let them think what they want. Let them spin their story. Let them misunderstand you. Because here's what karma does so beautifully. It fills in the gaps. It reveals the truth. It exposes the lies. And it teaches people lessons your words never could. So stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop trying to heal someone with your voice when their ears are closed. You've already said enough. Now let silence finish the sentence. Now, as you've heard today, handling disrespect isn't about fighting fire with fire. It's about choosing your battles wisely. It's about knowing your worth, setting your boundaries, and rising above negativity every single time. Remember this. You have the power to control how you respond. You have the strength to walk away when needed, and you have the wisdom to teach others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. So starting today, decide that you will no longer tolerate disrespect. Not from others, and certainly not from yourself. Stand firm in your truth. Speak clearly when you must, but also know when silence and distance are your greatest allies. You're not just defending your dignity. You're creating a life where respect follows naturally, because respect is a reflection of what you demand from the world, and most importantly, what you give yourself. Take this knowledge and put it into action. Set those boundaries. Walk away with confidence. Rise above every challenge with grace. The moment you do this consistently, you'll notice something incredible. People will start treating you differently. They'll see the strength behind your silence and the power in your action. And that, my friend, is you win. Not by arguing or fighting, but by mastering the art of respect, starting with yourself. So go out there and own your power. The world is watching, and it's time you showed them exactly who you are.